Hello, welcome once again to this channel. Today I'll be taking you through funding for Master of Arts in Theology and Religious Studies and then PhD in Theology and Religious Studies. Please like, share and comment so that others too can benefit from this scholarship opportunity. The first school we are taking a look at is the University of Boston University School of Theology. This is the school, so scholarships and then fellowships. Is almost all Boston University School of Theology Masters and PhD students receive a partial or full tuition scholarship. So they are often funding for their Master of Arts and then PhD in Theology. Let's look at the merit scholarship. So it says master's level applicants who receive a minimum GPA 3.3 in their period degree and complete the application by the priority admission deadline are considered for the Dean's Scholarship. The award range from full tuition to full tuition plus $15,000 annual stipend and is renewable for the duration of your program, provided you maintain a CGPA of 3.3. So this is a Dean Scholarship. So it covers full tuition and then full tuition and extra stipend. That's $15,000 annually for the duration of your master's program, provided you remain in good standing. So that's it for the master's program. Let's look at it for the PhD. So they are often PhD scholarship and then fellowships. So the chart below shows the amount one is entitled to get. So they are giving you 100% tuition waiver, and then after that you wouldn't pay anything. They are covering the School of Theology fees for you. That's $135. They'll give you books and supplies. That is $1,412. And then projected yearly cost, they'll give it to you. So the fellowship stipend is $27,318 per year. So that is what you get, and this cover for your tuition fee for the entire duration of the program. This is for 5 years. So these awards are made on the basis of merit upon admission for the first 5 years of doctoral study and do not require housing or living expenses, and require teaching and research internships and assistancies per the schedule below. So for this scholarship, they'll give you a monthly stipend, and then that will cover for your housing and then living expenses. But you have to teach. You work for the department, and then in turn they waive your tuition fee for you and give you a monthly stipend. So for the first 1 year you wouldn't go any work, but then for the second year, third year, fourth year and fifth year you are going to work for 20 hours per week, and then they will cover your tuition fee for you and then give you a monthly stipend. So that is Boston University Department of Religious Studies or Theology. The second university we are taking a look at is Villanova University. This is the Department of Theology. So they are offering funding for those who are admitted into their Master of Science and then PhD program. So it says the PhD program admits 4 funded, that is tuition and stipend, full-time students selected competitively to the program per year. Admission is for 4 semesters only. So they are often, the funding is for those who are admitted into your PhD program, but then for the master's program they also have tuition scholarships and then assistantship for resident ministers. So this is it. It also covers the cost of your full tuition, and then you are giving a monthly stipend. So graduate studies tuition scholarship cover the cost of tuition, while graduate assistantship cover tuition plus a stipend. So this is for the masters. So they are often funding for those who are admitted into their PhD and then master's program. So that is Villanova University Department of Theology. The third one we are taking a look at is Pennsylvania University Department of Religious Studies. It is a school. Let's look at the funding they have for us. So it says students admitted to the program receive a 5-year funding package that includes tuition and a cost of living stipend. And then all PhD students are required to serve as teaching assistants for 2 years as part of this package. And most perform their 2-year work in their second and third years. So that is Pennsylvania University Department of Religious Studies. Let's look at the eligibility criteria. So you should have, it is either you have a first degree in theology or religious studies, or in addition to the first degree, you have a master's degree in either theology, religious studies. Well, that is Pennsylvania University Department of Theology. The fourth one we are taking a look at is Vanderbilt University. It is the Department of Religious Studies funding your theological education. So they are also offering scholarships to those who are admitted into their Master of Science and then PhD programs. So let's look at the scholarships. So no additional scholarships is required to be considered for most merit-based awards. Although Master of Divinity and Master of Theological Studies applicants must complete all application materials by January 15 to be considered for one of our named full tuition scholarships. So they are offering full tuition scholarship for their master's degree program. So you have the Master of Divinity, Master of Theological Studies, Master of Theology, and then Doctor of Ministry. Apart from these masters, they are also offering PhD programs. Let's look at this one. Is the frequently asked questions. It says, what financial aid is available from the Graduate Department of Religion at Vanderbilt University? It says all MA students receive at least a 70 tuition scholarship on up to 30 credit hours. GV studies MA students wants 85 more than the required 30 discount. Permission may be granted to an admission discount for up to 12 hours. And then all PhD students receive university tuition scholarship, which are service-free awards that pay tuition costs up to 72 credit hours and include student health coverage. Additionally, all PhD students receive an annual stipend for 4 to 5 years. The PhD students will be expected to be a full-time student in residence for the duration of the tuition scholarship and then the stipend. So they are offering partial funding for their Master of Arts students and then full funding for their PhD in religious studies. The next one we are taking a look at is Brown University Department of Religious Studies. So this is the department's page. Let's look at the funding. From among a large pool of highly qualified applicants, the department admits 46 doctoral students a year. Our students receive 6 years of funding, so it means they are only offering admission to those who they can offer funding to. So they offer 46 funding for their students, and then the funding covers the 6 years of their study. So our students receive 6 years of full funding. The funding includes full tuition waiver, a monthly stipend, health insurance cover, and then housing. You either become a TA or a research assistant, and then in turn they waive all these fees for you, and then you study for your entire program. So that is Brown University Department of Religious Studies. The next one we are taking a look at is Duke University Department of Religion. Let's look at the funding they have for us. It says PhD students are currently awarded 5 years of funding and 6 years of health insurance. The total amount is comprised of a fellowship and either a teaching or research component. In order to be eligible to the total amount, one must be available for the department to assign as needed. So they are also offering funding for the whole 5 years of your study, which includes a fellowship and then a teaching or research assistantship component. So it's either you teach or help the faculty in conducting research, and then in turn they will waive your tuition fee for you, give them monthly stipend and then health insurance cover. So that is Duke University Department of Religious Studies. The next one we are taking a look at is Fordham University. This is the Department of Religious Studies. They are also offering funding for those who are admitted into their PhD in Theology program. So we see the Department of Theology is pleased to offer the following financial aid to admitted PhD students. Students with assistantship receive full tuition remission and a stipend for 5 years of PhD work. So they are also offering full tuition waiver and then a stipend for those who are admitted into their PhD program. So that is Fordham University Department of Theology. The next one we are taking a look at is Northwestern University. This is the School of Religious Studies. Let's look at the funding they have for us. So Northeastern University provides all graduate students in the humanities with the same standard package of graduate funding, and then it consists of 5 academic years of tuition and stipend, 5 summers of study stipend, health insurance, and then university pass for public transportation. So they are also offering full funding for those who are admitted into their PhD in religious studies. So that is Northwestern University Department of Religious Studies. The next one we are taking a look at is Stanford University. This is the Department of Religious Studies. Let's look at the funding they have for us. All religious studies PhD students receive 5 years of funding. This includes fellowship stipend or teaching assistantships, tuition, and cardinal care health insurance for the students. In addition, PhD students receive 5 funded summers of support. So they are offering full funding for those who are admitted into their PhD in religious studies. Note, we do not offer funding for master's students, so please don't apply to this school if you want funding for your master's. The funding is for only PhD in religious studies program. The next one we are taking a look at is the University of Notre Dame, Department of Theology. They are also offering funding for those who are admitted into the PhD in Theology program. So graduates, fellowships, assistantships. So full-time students in good standing are eligible to receive a 12-month annual stipend for up to 5 years and full tuition scholarship for up to 8 years. So they are also offering full funding, which includes full tuition waiver and a stipend for full 8 years. So that is Notre Dame University Department of Theology. The last one we are taking a look at is Wheaton College. Their PhD in Biblical and Theological Studies. They are also offering funding for those who are admitted into their PhD in Biblical and Theological Studies. So every year they admit only 6 students. So 6 students admitted. Every year they admit 6 students, and then they offer 100% funding. All PhD students receive full tuition funding plus a research fellowship and then travel stipend. So they are offering full funding for those who are admitted into the PhD in theological and biblical studies. So these are the schools that are offering funding for their masters and then PhD in theology and religious studies. Please like, share, and comment so that others too can benefit from this video.